Guys, there are 4 practice proofs that I'm going to have you work on before you take your quiz today. So if you would find your Constructing Congruent Triangles handout, we took some time to construct side, 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 side angle, side, and angle, side, angle. We haven't done the back side of this yet, so I want to show you one of the items on the back side. So if you don't happen to have this handout, I have left some extras. I will give you a second to get this handout out or to get one from the sub. All right, if you take a look on the back, notice what I've done in number 4. We're not going to do number 5 right now. We'll do that when I come back next week. That's a special situation that we need to construct. But number 4 is something that I want to show you. Look really carefully at the markings on number 4. For the markings in number 4, I claim the way it is marked right now is not angle, side, angle. Notice there are 2 angles that are marked, but the side in between those 2 angles is not the side that's marked. The side is over here. So notice what this really is an angle, and then an angle, and then a side. So I claim, though, that this is also good enough to make congruent triangles, and there's a really simple reason why. Guys, if these 2 angles are the same, Z and E, if X and F are also the same, then because the 3 angles in a triangle have to add up to 180 degrees, I also know that angle Y automatically has to be the same size as angle D. This is something that we looked at earlier this week on Monday. So now notice by the markings here, look at what's happened. By these markings, now I really do have an angle, a side in between, and an angle. So I claim then that this extra step of marking this 3rd angle isn't really necessary. I claim that it's good enough to have had the original markings. So if you have any 2 angles and a side marked, you may say that the triangles are congruent by AAS. So the side doesn't necessarily have to be between the 2 angles. Anytime, as long as you've got 2 angles marked, if there is a side marked also, you may use angle, angle, side. Of course, if the side that's marked is between the angles, that's just ASA like we've seen before. But angle, angle, side also works. So in this case, you could say that the triangle XZY, is congruent to triangle. Now I'm going to use the markings. X had 2 arcs, Z had 1 arc. X, Z, Y, 2 and then 1. So I need to do the same order over here, 2 and then 1, F, E, D. This would be triangle FED. And I didn't need to bother marking the 3rd angle. I could have just said that the triangles are congruent by angle, angle, side. That would also work. So as of right now, we have 4 ways to make congruent triangles. Side, 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 angle, side, angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side. Angle, angle, side appears on one of the practice proofs that I'm going to have you do before the quiz. I would offer, though, you don't have to use angle, angle, side on the quiz. It's just something that I wanted you to be aware of because it's useful for one of the practice proofs that I'm going to have you do before you try your quiz. We will do number 5 next week. Have a good weekend.